Texas Tech endured a bit of a shaky first half, but ultimately pulled away late to get an 80-63 win over the Milwaukee Panthers. But this game was probably a good bit closer than Tech fans would have liked. The Red Raiders were only up 5 at halftime. It seemed like Milwaukee was making some tough shots, but also, generally speaking, they got some good shots as well. I thought they put more pressure on the rim than I would have expected and hung in there for a good, like, let's say 27 to 30 minutes in this game. Now, I wouldn't say it's necessarily panic time for Texas Tech. Maybe they were still a hangover just after the big Illinois game and trying to find your identity from that. But getting a little bit healthier with Luke Bomboye making his debut and still some positives to build off of this. But J-Man, when you watch this game, what were some of your big takeaways for the Red Raiders?
Yeah, it looked like they were a little hungover from their game against Illinois. I mean, they came out slow, and Milwaukee took it to them in the first half. 5 point, Texas Tech led by 5, but Milwaukee had the lead there for half of the first half essentially. And JT Toppin just he had an off night
Mhm.
after having a monster performance. He just was 3 of 10, and I think he was 3 of 9 from around the rim, like in the paint, and just a weird night for him. But you saw Donovan Atwell step up, be a guy for them, and obviously Christian Anderson, my guy, had a all around game for Texas Tech, and they only played really two guys off the bench. They played seven guys against Wisconsin Milwaukee, which kind of raised my eyebrows. Like, really, this is like the game you don't want to get a little more depth with your team. And so only really playing seven guys against a team like Wisconsin Milwaukee kind of like startled me. Not startled me, but surprised me.
Yeah, even to that point, I thought like Jalen Petty was awesome in the first half of this game. Hit three threes, made some plays defensively as well, had two steals, and then only logs 5 minutes in the second half. That was a little puzzling to me, especially just because like Texas Tech kind of hit that second gear, got some big buckets from Donovan Atwell and Christian Anderson that sort of put them ahead for good. Yet that would have been some like this is the type of game that you're exactly what you're talking about, where it's like, let's see what you can get going with this guy. I mean, he's really shifty. Had some of the threes he hit were nice relocation threes, and I thought he kind of showed like this is probably a guy you can play next to Anderson even and start to, but even minutes where like Anderson sitting, get him ready to kind of be the point guard of the future. Because I mean, Anderson might be gone after this year. He could be league bound. Like he's had an awesome start to the season, and yeah, I kind of I'm with you on that, but yeah, thankfully they got enough going. It's like with the Toppin game in terms of his struggling. Like this is someone who, he's not just one of the more athletic pick and roll finishers in the country, which I think really shows his strength, his explosiveness that he's like 6'8", 6'9", and able to finish as strong around the basket as he is. But I've always been so impressed by his touch around the rim. Like he gets in the paint, can knock down those hook shots, like comfortable in the mid range as well. What do you attribute to his struggles to in this one?
I don't know. It kind of just seemed like he was pressing maybe a little bit. Like he
Mm-hmm.
missed a couple easy bunnies for him. Like you said, a little turnaround hook in front of the rim. He just missed them short. And so I'm not gonna allude it to tired legs. We're in the fourth game of the season. So wasn't that. I think he just kind of was pressing maybe to try and get his early, and it just wasn't happening. Because I think most of his shot attempts came in the first half too. I think like he only shot two in the second half. It was Texas Tech kind of went away from force feeding JT to where other guys are getting involved. And I do have a stat for you, by the way, Riley. You know, I come with stats about Donovan Atwell.
Let me hear
You
it.
know, you know how many 2 pointers he shot this season?
I'm gonna guess fewer than five.
He is 1 for 1, and it happened against Wisconsin Milwaukee. He is 18 of 37 from three and 1 of 1 from two this season. So Donovan Atwell, scouting report, run him off the line because he wants to pull from the 3 point line.
I thought he was, I mean, he seems like he hasn't really had much of an issue translating up a level, though. I think defensively is probably where you're going to see him struggle more, but he still has that size. I mean, I think he's 6'5", 210. I thought against Illinois, they sort of exposed him a little bit when it was whether it was him. I mean, I think he was the one who drew the assignment on Stojakovic and really struggled. But I would say at least with the size and the frame, you can see the vision for him to improve on that end as the year goes on, as he just adjusts. But the 3 point shooting being awesome from the jump is like it's a testament to him and it's a testament to McCaslin's scouting and the way he puts those guys in position to succeed.
Dude, he's shooting 47% from three on
It's crazy.
10 threes a game. Like his Field goal percentage is 73%. That is insane. Like he's the best three-point shooter in college basketball right now. That never seen that type of volume and that efficiency. I don't care if it's 4 games into the season. Like
Yeah,
this guy,
right.
he can if he shoots 1 on 3, it's like, you know what? I live with that shot because this guy has proven to he can knock him down. And
Mhm.
you know, his one layup, he did get to the cup relatively easy with like 4 minutes to go. So maybe that's going to open up his game to where he's averaging 15 points a game, all threes. He might average 19 points if he just shoots 2 layups a game now. It's crazy.
That is insane to be a 15 point per game scorer with one made 2 point field goal. Shout out to Donovan, man. Maybe defense is overrated. Like you couldn't really check Stojakovic. Few people can. Like maybe this dude can just hoop and he's going to be awesome in his role.
Telling you.
I actually came with a stat today as well, and it's sorry for a little vibe shift here. We did praise. I mean, just in case the Texas Tech fans didn't hear it, you've been banging the Christian Anderson drum all offseason. I think he's a pro. I think he has a chance to be a lottery pick. I think JT Top is the best post, like the best pick and roll finisher in the country, and probably one of the two best post scorers in the country as well. Atwell's been awesome in his role. The defense is starting to concern me a little bit, though. I know I kind of made that joke that who needs it when you're scoring like this, but particularly around the rim, I really want to see how Bomboye can affect this and impact it positively for Texas Tech right now, because at the moment teams are shooting 65% at the rim against them per CBB analytics. Now, to Tech's their credit, they aren't giving up like a ton of attempts at the rim. It's not like a layup line, but it's just when teams get into the paint, they've had a lot of success just kind of finishing around whoever it's been at the 5 spot. And I think when you look at this game in particular, compare the points in the paint. Texas Tech had 24, Milwaukee had 28. Like Milwaukee stayed within reach by and only made three. They only made 4 3-pointers for the whole game. That's like kind of the big cause for concern right now for Tech.
Yeah, that's a really good stat that a team that prides themselves with their identity is defense first. Like you could always kind of pencil in Texas Tech being a really good defensive team to where, against Wisconsin, Milwaukee, maybe they just got caught sleepwalking to where that's going to be
Mhm.
addressed by the coaching staff for their next game because, yeah, that's unacceptable, especially giving up that many points in the paint to a Horizon team. I don't care if Milwaukee was top 25 in the country from the Horizon. You just can't do that at home. And that'll be addressed. And that's also where we circle back all at the beginning about the depth. It's like, hey, if you can't get it done defensively, you just pull one of the bigs or somebody out there to give you a different identity defensively for a media timeout run to see if you can
Right.
get slow somebody down around the rim.
Yeah, with some of it, like in this one, I thought Danilo Jovanovic played really well. I mean, finished with 17. And I think as much as Lawan Watts has succeeded offensively, like that dude's just got good touch on his jumper, versatile, can pass, like can give you a little bit of everything except dunking, as you've pointed out before. I feel like his struggles defensively, that's probably like sometimes he doesn't look quite as big as he's listed at. You know, he's listed at 6'6", and I don't know if that's legit or not. And just against someone like Jovanovic, I think you kind of see some of his shortcomings where, I mean, Jovanovic does have skill. He played for that Miami team that made the Final Four, but kind of to your point, it's a Horizon League team that you would hope, maybe he can hold his own a little bit better against them.
Yeah, and look, it's early in the year to where things will be addressed to where I'm not worried. I'm not hitting the panic button on Texas Tech's defense, but it is something that needs to be talked about right now as, a possible chance or possible thing that could be a cause of concern for the Red Raiders. But the good news for them is they do have hoopers and Christian Anderson, JT Toppin, and then Donovan Atwell just being 15 points per game score from three. You just tighten up defensively around the rim and the points in the paint, then I mean, this team can make another deep run in March.
Yeah, I'm with you completely. Just, is there anything else as we sort of wrap this one up with Texas Tech that you're looking for them to build on to give you more confidence in them? I mean, still a top 15 team per Ken Palm, top 12 offense. You've kind of come to expect that under McCaslin. Like as much as he's had a great defensive reputation from his time at North Texas, I think offensively, like he has been just awesome since he got there. But they got a Wake Forest team that they're playing later this week that is a little bit peskier than probably we anticipated. They're always going to have good guard play under Steve Forbes and gave Michigan all it could handle. Like, is there anything you're looking for out of the Red Raiders just as they move forward to playing their second power conference test?
Yeah, I mean, just the defense side of the ball. This is a Wake Forest team. I can't think of the coach right now for Wake Forest, but they hired a guy from the NBA to really kind of transcend their offense back to what happened with why am I drawing a blank on their head coach's name? Forbes, when he did at ETSU before he got to Wake Forest about, running and gunning, really scoring the basketball. And you're seeing that with Wake Forest early this season. That is not the Wake Forest team last year. That was an eyesore to watch with Hunter Salas kind of playing out of
Yeah.
position and they're struggling to score eight, losing by one to Michigan 85-84 in overtime. Like this is a good team. Like this is a good team and this is a good test for Texas Tech to stop Juke Harris, who's averaging 22 a game. Can they stop guards penetrating and finishing around the rim? And if they can, this is a really good Wake Forest team. That'd be a really good win for Texas Tech.
I'm with you on that. Still, like we said, a lot of positives to take, even from a sleepy game like this. It's good to see your guys lock back in, even if they were caught flat footed at the start, to hit the gas in the second and put this one away. So we'll be tapped into what happens next.